has been 60 years since the Packers and Chiefs met down in Southern California in what would come to be known as the first Super Bowl. But now, at modern Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, we are counting down to Super Bowl 60. And we've got a great matchup in store. Tonight, it is all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy. As it'll be the AFC champion Denver Broncos taking on the NFC champions. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis, and what a season it's been for our AFC champions. And this was a fight just to get to the Super Bowl. You got to figure that they are very battle-tested and ready.
I'd agree with you 100% about that. You don't get there without having those types of attributes, and that's what you look for in a Super Bowl team. Character, these guys don't lie for either one of those. Now they're here. Now they're ready to win.
Meanwhile, our NFC champions, they have gone through a lot to get where they are. Everybody knows their story this season. What's the key for them as they start this Super Bowl?
Let's go full cliche on this one because it works. Remember what got you here. Been a winning formula all season long. This is a team that when we saw them in the preseason, we said they look like a group that has what it takes to be a Super Bowl winning team. And we've been proven right by what we've seen throughout the season.
So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And a glance here at their shifty mobile signal caller.
And there are a lot of quarterbacks who had terrific careers. Think about guys like Phillip Rivers, Randall Cunningham, Dan Fouts, Warren Moon. But they never got to a Super Bowl. Yet here he is in his second NFL season, already getting his chance. I mean, harken back to Dan Marino, another superstar, made it in his second year, lost the game, and never made it back again. That's a nice job there, foiling what all offenses try to do, which is control the defensive end in the running game. They want to get to the outside, and if he keeps himself free, stays on his feet, he can make a play just as he did there.
And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Derek Hall in there that time to get him to the turf.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on third. I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Now it's Nix. Setting up a screen for Harvey. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. Leading them out is their 6'3" quarterback, the 3rd overall selection in 2018, Sam Darnold.
As we begin the Super Bowl, we're looking at one of the game's most important players. And whether he's the centerpiece of the offense or taking a backseat to his teammates, offenses always look to the quarterback to be a leader in moments like this. He's got to be that calm, composed pillar out there. He stays level-headed and keeps everyone focused on the task at hand.
You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
6-yard pickup. Good yardage there on 1st down, exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
And they'll try the air now with Darnold. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. A little too much air under that one. That could have easily been 6 points.
Yeah, what kind of speed he has is almost impossible, we think, to actually overthrow him. But he did exactly that. I think he probably tried to get it out there maybe just a little bit too quickly.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. To throw is Darnold. And that will be incomplete.
Everyone rolls into the Super Bowl saying, hey, I'm confident. I'll just do what I did before. But let's face it, you got to be wary of the jitters going into a big game like this. Super Bowl's unlike any other game you're going to play.
And now he's starting out 0 for 2. We'll see if he can rebound. The Seahawks will call on Michael Dixon on 4th down to punt this one away. Back deep to return is Marvin Mims. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. So now the 2nd drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
A quick first down pickup. Good start after going 3 and out on their opening drive.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid game.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Intended for Troy Franklin. Incomplete. Tariq Woolen on the coverage.
Second and 10. Nick's going to give to Hardy. And he'll push ahead for about 3 to the 36. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing Nix. And he couldn't square up to throw there, and it falls incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
On 4th down, Jeremy Crawshaw on to punt. Fielded at the 20. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early, but they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Here's Darnold. And the Broncos get there and take him down. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
On fourth down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Fielded at about the 28. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. Looking to put a drive together. They'll begin on the ground with Harvey. They'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, second down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Once more with Harvey. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
That's good for a Broncos first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy's setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
On play action, here's Nix. Over the middle, complete. That's Franklin. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It's a gain of 35.
That's another Broncos first down. First and 10 at the 19-yard line.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15.
Out of bounds at the
So 5 yards here,
line.
5 on the play. And it'll be second down.
5.
They run straight ahead with Harvey. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
On the tackle. That's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 1.
A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down. To throw, here's Nix. He'll try to pick it up himself. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Bo Nix, a 10-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos are on the board first here in this Super Bowl.
Nothing like understanding where your escape hatches are as a quarterback. Here he's looking, but he knows he doesn't want to force anything. So when nothing avails itself, he slips past the rushers, takes it right up the middle, and takes it into the end zone.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos.
Makes the score Broncos 7.
So the drive there took 6 plays. And in the end, the finishing touch, an 11-yard run. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And it's a pretty good return here as they'll get this up to the 29. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. Now it's Darnold. He completes this to Walker. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it's 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29. Here's Darnold. That was going to, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Nick Benito coming in there to record the sack. I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly, and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
Third down and 13. Darnold. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Harvey to start the drive. And he put up a good fight, but he's going to be taken down behind the line of scrimmage.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. To throw is Nix. Quickly into the hands of Mims. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. And we've got a lot more ahead of us here in Super Bowl 60. Second quarter coming your way next. 7-0 is our score. We'll return after this message. You're watching the NFL, and it's right here on EA Sports. And we are back and ready to go for the second quarter of the Super Bowl. Brandon Gaud and Charles Davis, as always, thrilled to be with you. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Well, welcome back to the date on the calendar we circle every year. Super Bowl Sunday. Brandon Gaud and Charles Davis here with you as we get set to begin quarter 2. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And the Broncos first down. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Here's Nix. He'll get that complete to Franklin. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it'll be 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Here's 2nd and 3. Off the play fake. Here's Nix. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will remain a 1-touchdown game.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one from 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through, and that one winds up no good.
Here's Walker to start the drive. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Nice chunky yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
2 minutes gone by, second quarter. A shotgun snap for Darnold. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
It's a nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. Now he'll tuck this and run. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. From the gun, it's Walker. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 41 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw, Darnold. He finds Smith-Njigba in the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks are an extra point away from tying this Super Bowl at 7. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. 5 plays there on that drive. And it was capped off by a Jackson Smith-Njigba touchdown catch. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Denver's offense ready to go again. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they tell their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time? Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Next to the air. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
It's 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Here's Jeremy Crawshaw now as he's on to punt for Denver. Taken in at the 22. his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. Seattle now ready to march onto the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Just need a yard here, 2nd and 1. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Now Darnold. That'll be caught by Cup. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Sets him up nicely. 1st and goal. It was a pickup of 14.
Well, this is a defense that's definitely on their heels now because they gave up the running play for good yardage 1 play ago. Now the pass here sets this offense up 1st and goal. They're going to have to dig in strong now because they've been in retreat so far in this drive. This offense on the march.
Here's Walker. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field. I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
Darnold down to throw. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Elijah Arroyo, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. They went empty backfield, all their weapons out wide, so there really was no secret here to what they were going to do.
No secret, but they still had to execute it, and they still had to protect the guy throwing the ball because oftentimes when you empty the backfield, people bring pressure at you. They managed to hold in there and successfully complete the touchdown pass.
Now Myers for the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game.
Makes the score Seahawks.
So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score.
Jason Myers.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they get this game tied up.
A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. 2nd down, 8 to go from the 28. Again, it's Harvey. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 53 yards rushing for him now in the first half of this Super Bowl.
Now that's a big-time run. Lightning in a bottle, forget it. He exploded out of the bottle for that type of a pickup.
50-yard line.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
4 yards.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
From the 46, here's the 2nd down and 6. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 31-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Cortland Sutton. 10 more yards. Complete to Cortland Sutton. 10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches at the Seahawks' 21-yard line.
Still a few inches short of a 1st down as they come up now on 2nd down. Operating from the gun, here's Nix. And that one too wide and incomplete.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. Trying to run for it. Here's Harvey. And he will have a Broncos 1st down, at least at first glance, as they'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And that is incomplete. Well, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Now Lutz for the field goal try. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. The kick by Lutz is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no win. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Kenneth Walker headed back out there. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated. Because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now back to throw. Repeat of the last play, finding Walker. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
2nd down and a yard. They'll set up to throw. A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
Well, he left no doubt about that one because even though he hasn't left the pocket, he's got a receiver in the area, so it's not grounding, even though there's no way that ball was going to be caught.
They tried the throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Again, Darnold. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. So halftime now here on Sunday Night Primetime. Let's get it to Scott Hanson in Orlando with our halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the downtown Orlando studios. Scott Hanson and crew with you for a short and sweet halftime, as this game's had a little bit of everything to it. We'll find out which side can establish some tempo in the 3rd quarter as we're ready to kick off the 2nd half. Back out to our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Scott, thank you. And this one's still anybody's game. We'll see who can come out with a hot hand in this 2nd half as we are about to get underway. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Seahawks offense set to go to begin this 3rd quarter. And I think you'd have to say their coaching staff, all things considered, had to be pleased with their performance in the first half of this Super Bowl.
Definitely pleased, doing their best not to show it to their team, of course, because as you and I both know, their mantra all season long has been finish. Get the job done. They know how close they are to lifting that trophy. One more solid half of football, and they can do exactly that.
2 yards on the
Pat Surtain up to make the play.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the 3rd quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it. And that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And they will take over 1st and 10. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the 2nd half. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced the punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this 2nd half.
A
They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll make it second down. Off the play fake, Nix. Pressure comes, he's taken down by the Seahawks defense. They overload him that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
So here's a 3rd and 14. Throwing Nix. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
The Broncos send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag, punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. From the 38 now, here comes 2nd and 8. Straight ahead, Walker. There he goes, right side. Inside the 10. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Kenneth Walker, 62 yards. And the Seahawks will extend their 3rd quarter lead here in this Super Bowl. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
The extra point now coming from Myers. It's good, and it's 21-10. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Oh, able to avoid him. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. Harvey now on 1st and 10. And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
So from the 26-yard line, here's a 2nd and 5. Zone read to give to Harvey. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 67 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
First down.
But partner, if the defense isn't going to adjust and they keep giving them those 5, 6, 7-yard runs over and over, they're likely to run it the whole way to the end zone. They'll be more than happy to take the yardage available and save some of their other plays in the playbook for another time.
A short throw to Ingram. That'll give them 8 that time. And that'll bring up a 2nd down and just a couple.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. 2nd and a couple. Now it's Nix. Now he's going to step, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. It'll go as a loss of 3 on the sack, and it brings up 3rd down. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Nix, 2 yards on the pickup there. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. The Broncos send out their punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. Taking it about the 16. 44-yard punt, return of 9. Back out now comes Kenneth Walker in the Seattle offense. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. The big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
Here's Darnold. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. They overload him that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. To throw is Darnold. Now he'll tuck this and run. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the 1st by a few yards. Give him 9 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. He certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. Now here's Michael Dixon as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. Denver's offense now set to go. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Here's 2nd and 7. To throw, here's Nix. Wide open receiver, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 18 big yards on that one, and a Denver 1st.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Up the middle, it's Harvey. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Second and 9. Operating from the gun. Nix. Throw left side complete. That's Harvey. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Nick's going to keep this himself. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first.
Good for Broncos. First down. First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Remember, Brandon, he ran for a touchdown earlier, so his decision to go ahead and tuck it and go again turned out to be a wise one.
And the decision is what is important here. He has made some good decisions on when to tuck it and go. On the give, it's Harvey. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. 82 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries. Defensively, they were in the 3-4. Solid run up the middle. What made it successful?
Well, what you have to do is control the nose guard, but sometimes you don't do it by blocking him. You do it by influencing him. Get him moving to one side or the other and hit him back on the opposite.
That's taken in by Franklin. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll make it second down.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up second and 4 at the 21-yard line.
Now an option play, and he'll keep it. And avoids the contact by sliding.
A 5-yard gain on the play. And
Up next, we get to crown a champion. We are through 3 here in Super Bowl 60. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Folks, welcome back to the biggest stage in sports, the Super Bowl, and now we get down to the good stuff, the 4th and final quarter. And we're back in the Super Bowl. Time to decide who gets to hoist that Lombardi trophy as we begin the 4th and final quarter of action. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. A gain of 8 there on the play. And they'll be left with second and a couple.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Ball on the 8, second and 2. Out of the gun, they go with Harvey. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it first and goal.
That's another Broncos first down.
Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on second and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now.
And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. R.J. Harvey taking it in from a yard out. And the Broncos have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. We may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And, partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that? Big-time drive right there. If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there, and they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come.
Broncos will line up for the 2-point conversion.
They'll try and run it up the middle, but he will not get in here. He's stopped up short of the goal line, and this will remain a 5-point game.
16.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
For the Broncos.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And out now come the Seahawks. And the tension ratcheting up all around. A one-score game. Fourth quarter of the Super Bowl. This is what you folks came for. Every play with the potential to win or lose a title as they look to drain some time off this clock. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now it's Darnold. He finds Smith and Jigba. And they're able to get this one across the 35. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
And good yardage there on 1st down because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
2 yards to go, 2nd down. Here's Darnold. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here. Down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Darnold. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. They're going to look to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. The Seahawks moving pretty well through the air. Another first down.
A gain of 13 yards. And the Seahawks first down.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
Now to the ground. Here's Walker. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. I'm sure that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
And Shaheed going to go in motion. Faking the give, Darnold. Open man left side, Shaheed has it. Gave a glimpse of his quick feet, but not a whole lot of space down at the 30. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Back to throw, Darnold. There's a short one caught by Arroyo. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. It'll be a gain of 5. And that's going to make it 4th down.
They got the completion, but they didn't get the first down. So you got to think if you're on the defensive side of the ball, you're pretty happy with what you just accomplished there.
Yeah, guy, like you said, got him out of bounds, stopped the clock, kept him short of the marker. Myers' kick is good. But now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about.
Defense.
Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
9-yard line, 2nd and 6. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pick up a 3.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. He'll try to, and he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. John Franklin Myers, the one in there to drop him.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
So on now comes the kicker. It's Jason Myers. This to put him a touchdown and a 2-point conversion up. Myers' kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 8. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And we're at the time in the Super Bowl where, look, they need points. And they need them badly. Trailing here in the 4th quarter as they begin this drive 1st and 10. On play action, here's Nix. And the Seahawks defense gets to him and they bring him down. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Here's 2nd down. Nix to the air. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Sutton. Right there, he rose to the occasion late in a close game.
It's something he thought about, dreamed about, and worked on throughout his career. Because in these types of situations, he wasn't going to allow extra coverage to keep him from getting the football.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. Into the hands of Ingram. And he's going to get out of bounds with the first down, so that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the first and save a timeout.
Now that is the 2-minute drill at its very best. Get the completion, get a big chunk of yardage, and then get out of bounds to save those timeouts. You cannot do it any better than that.
He's back to throw. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
He completes this to Sutton. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Not good. They didn't move the football an inch, and precious time ticking off the clock. What a Super Bowl it's been to this point. Now a critical third down here. They'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. This is caught inside the 15. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
First and 10 at the 13-yard line.
Back to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
Complete to Marvin Mims. Out of bounds, down at the 10-yard line. A 3-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Back to throw. And this one complete again to Mims. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
A big play looming on third down. He'll look to throw. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. They took their shot for the end zone, almost cost him.
And he made the right play there, knocking it away. But, boy, it looked like he had a chance to come down with the football. And if he does that, this thing is over. Instead, he leaves him out there with another chance.
They'll go for it. Here's Nix. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's into the end zone. No flags. It's a touchdown. And now a two-point conversion. And we'll be tied here in the final minute.
Do they have one big call left? Here we go. The touchdown's massive, but now they've got to have two to possibly take this to overtime.
One more hurdle here. They need the two-point conversion to, for the moment, stay alive in these playoffs. They're going to try and run for it, but he is not going to get in. They stop him short, and that defensive play may have just clinched them a Super Bowl title. So still a little over 40 seconds to go. Time enough to put a drive together if they can get this onside kick. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, It was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. Well, the ball now going back over to the Seattle Seahawks offense. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. Little clock management 101.
And the Seahawks are the class of the NFL. Seattle wins the Super Bowl. And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that, because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their picture. That your name will be a part of it. That's got to be an incredible feeling, because it's been a long journey to get there, and now they get a chance to enjoy it.
So that'll conclude another captivating season of the NFL on EA Sports. So for Charles Davis and all the hardworking men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaud.